Stop it! Please!
She's waiting for you.
So a little while back, I had somebody from the Resident Evil community suggest to do a Jack Baker vs Mr X video, as we've seen both villains give us so much tension in the respective games, ranging from Resident Evil 7 to the new Resident Evil 2 remake. But the question has to be asked, which of these monsters would win if they fought each other head on? Anyways, what is up you guys, this is HeyDeVuH, and in this video we're going to be breaking down who would win in the monster clash between Jack Baker versus Mr X, as both of them would show their overall tenacity and durability to the constant way of giving us tension, and see who would win in their different mutations. But before we get started, please feel free to check out my other Mr X videos on my channel, and also subscribing for more Resident Evil content in the future. Alright, so let's start off with Jack Baker, who's one of the main antagonists in Resident Evil 7. As he was turned insane by Evelyn, a BOW who gave off an appearance of a 10-year-old child, after he was infected with a mold strain, following her every order and hunting down unsuspected victims, trying to add them to her so-called family that she's always desired.
Oh shit, he's not eating it, Jack! He's not eating it!
Get the hell up, Marguerite!
Nation for him!
Get the hell out of here!
But of course this insane proposition would have Jack stalking us throughout his residence, giving us a tyrant-like feel to his encounters. With one great example was when he breaks through the wall while we're trying to make our escape.
You're wasting your time!
Which is very reminiscent of Mr X's jump scare at the RPD station. So this relentlessness of his pursuit is very comparable to the Tyrant, which I'll discuss more in a little bit later in the video. But overall, our encounters and battles with Jack really showed how resilient he is, where he's able to withstand so much damage, shown with these examples.
Do I have your attention, boy? You're about to see something wonderful. Whoa. Fuck! Show her how to hold her. She wants us all to show her how to run.
Daddy!
Making you question if he can really take him down. Also, it doesn't help that in Resident Evil 7 that we're relegated to using such limited resources and ammo. Also, sometimes he even shows this trait to our characters, almost like he's gloating that he can't be killed. Anyways, what's already on top of the already outstanding resiliency of his antagonist is the superhuman strength that he's able to display. Also, the added gameplay when fighting Jack is his usage of weaponry, ranging from shovels.
Hey, put that door back! Put that door back up! Wait!
To a scissor-like chainsaw.
Groovy! That is not groovy.
Showing that he can try to adapt to his surroundings and taking advantage of whatever is available to him to help eliminate our characters. Anyways, after the ensuing fight, where Jack was doing his many insane antics using his chainsaw, we finally defeat him and leave him with his body literally in half.
Do me a favor and stay dead.
But he again will show himself in his final form, where we see him grotesquely different from his normal human appearance, again enforcing his sheer resiliency, even after all the damage that he's taken.
I will deal with you later.
Now enlarged and surrounded by the mold strain, at the same time engulfed with the large eyeballs throughout his body, which the only real way to deal damage is by targeting them. But even then it was still not enough, because it was only when we're able to inject him with a D-series serum that he's finally calcified and released from his mold strain. In the end, Jack Baker has proven to be a terrifying adversary, and the constant tension that he produces during all his encounters really made him stand out in the game. But how does he fare against the T-103 Tyrant Mr X? As we have this behemoth stand heads above our players, sporting his trenchcoat limiter and that famous fedora of his, where we can see this Tyrant trying to use his superhuman strength when facing off against Jack, trying to use a brutal approach and punching him directly. But as we already discussed earlier in the video, Jack is very resilient when it comes to receiving damage, with one great example is seeing Jack being able to take a direct punch to the face with a mechanical enhancing glove that can produce so much force.
Charge.
You remember me, right?
So with that in mind, he can probably absorb Mr. X's punches and use that small window to counterattack the Tyrant, especially if he's using a chainsaw. But the drawback to that though is how effective would that weapon be if Jack is hitting the Tyrant's trenchcoat limiter, because we've seen it be able to deflect bullets away, so how would a chainsaw fare in that aspect? Also, a thought popped in my head that maybe Jack would fare better with Mr. X's Super Tyrant transformation, because he's mostly released by his limiter, exposing his heart and flesh to the chainsaw attacks of Jack. But the drawback is that he can be stunned if Mr. X slashes or impales him with his mutated claws. But we've seen Jack self-mutilate himself before, so having slashes from this Tyrant would probably be something that he can handle for a short while. Also, if Jack does receive enough damage, he can mutate into his large mold form, taking advantage of his massive body. But Mr. X can counter this by using his speed when facing Jack in this form, targeting the many eyeballs that surround his body. Also, on a quick note, I wouldn't expect Mr. X to carry the serum that would calcify Jack, so I'm just going on the basis that what they've shown in the boss battles in RE2 and RE7. Anyways, in the end, both of these antagonists will give each other a difficult time when facing one another, but I conclude that Mr. X would win, but it's not to say that Jack would be steamrolled so easily. So do you guys agree with my assumptions? Please let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you guys so much for watching my video. I really appreciate it, and also if you guys want to continue to help support my channel, please feel free to smash that notification bell icon so you guys can be updated when I upload my next content. And also I want to shout out a couple of commenters from my previous videos, starting with Mr. X and his great and funny comments, to Joseph Castillo, because I remember him being one of the very first commenters from my earlier videos, so thank you. And lastly, Davion Westby, I appreciate your kind comments. Anyways, thank you guys so much, and as always, you guys have a great rest of your day, and this is Hey Deva, signing out.